Every single thing you do, every decision, every word, every reaction comes from one of two places: fear or love. Once you start noticing it, you can't unsee it. And this isn't about good or bad choices, it's about intention and whether you are moving from a place that expands you or a place that keeps you small. Hello, beautiful soul. This is one of the most powerful lessons I have ever learned. And if you have never thought about life this way, I think this perspective is going to shift something for you. Because fear and love are not always as obvious as they sound. Fear usually doesn't announce itself. Most people won't say, "I'm acting from fear," because it's subtle. It can look like overthinking a text because you don't want to sound weird. It can look like people pleasing, so there's no tension in the room. It can be saying yes when you actually wanted to say no. It could even be keeping yourself busy so you don't have to think about something that's been weighing on you. And love is not just a feeling, it's a way of showing up. It's the choice that is honest for you, even if it's uncomfortable in the moment. It's speaking up when silence would be easier. It's doing the thing that feels aligned, even if your voice shakes. And this matters because when you can start noticing which one is driving your decisions, you take back the kind of power you might have not even realized you were giving away. You might notice, "I'm saying this so I don't disappoint someone," or "I'm holding back because I don't want to be judged." That awareness is the moment you get to pause and choose differently. And let's be real, choosing love does not always feel good at first. Sometimes you walk away from a conversation feeling nervous or replaying it in your head, wondering if you messed everything up. That's normal. The peace will come later when you are able to stand by your choice because you know your words and actions came from alignment. Think about a time that scared you. Not the fun kind of scary, but the kind where your heart was racing because it mattered to you. Maybe you spoke your truth. Maybe you took a step you had been avoiding. At first, it might have felt shaky or uncomfortable, but when you honor yourself and that choice, when you trust the intention behind it, that's when it starts to feel right. And you don't have to wait for some big moment to practice this. You can start now in the small moments. Before you respond to that message or agree to something, before you let your mind overthink, just ask, why am I really saying or doing this? Is this stemming from fear or love? Because every time you choose love, you are shaping the version of yourself you are becoming. And that version of you, they are worth showing up for, even when it's not the easy choice. So here's the thing. Fear is smart. It's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it hides under habits you've had for so long you don't even realize they're protecting you from discomfort. For some people, fear might show up as perfectionism, or that feeling you can't start until you have everything figured out. That's not actually about wanting things to be perfect. It's about avoiding the risk of being seen or judged before you're ready. For others, fear might be people-pleasing. You agree, you smile, because keeping the peace feels safer than rocking the boat. It can feel like love in the moment when really it's a form of self-abandonment. Because if the only reason you are saying yes is to avoid disapproval, that is fear running the show. Sometimes fear looks like control. You hold on to how things want to go because the unknown is too risky. Other times it's avoidance, putting something off until you feel ready, which usually just means waiting until the discomfort disappears, which never really does. And here's where it gets tricky. You can't always feel the fear right away. You might just feel off or tired or unmotivated. You might catch yourself zoning out or scrolling, overthinking, filling your day with tasks that feel productive but aren't really moving you forward. That's still fear. It's just wearing a mask, a softer mask. The only way to see it clearly is to pay attention to your intention. Because no one is perfect. We all have moments where fear drives the bus. But if you can slow down enough to ask, why am I really doing this? What's the real reason? You give yourself the power to choose differently. And honestly, sometimes the love-based choice is the scarier one in the moment. It's saying no when you know somebody will be upset. It's sending the message you've been avoiding, or letting yourself be fully seen instead of playing it safe. But here's the beauty. Love-based choices build confidence over time. Maybe not overnight or instantly, but slowly in layers until one day you realize the things that made you freeze don't have the same hold on you anymore. And maybe you're listening to this thinking, okay, but how do I actually start doing that? How do I choose love when fear feels easier? That's where we're going next. Because this isn't about flipping a switch. It's about practicing small shifts that rewire the way you move through life. So here's the good news. You don't have to change your whole life overnight to start shifting from fear to love. You just need to notice one moment at a time. The next time you catch yourself hesitating or people pleasing or holding back, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, if I wasn't afraid right now, afraid of judgment, of messing up, of losing control, what would I do? You don't have to act on that immediately, but just asking that question plants the seed. And over time, that seed will start to grow into new choices. One small example is maybe you've been avoiding a conversation because you think it'll be awkward. Fear says, leave it alone. Love says, speak honestly and with kindness. Or maybe you've been putting off starting something new, a hobby, a goal, even a habit, healthy habit. Fear will say, wait until you're ready. Love will say, it's okay to begin even if it's not perfect. And I get it. Choosing love isn't always the most good-looking thing to do. Sometimes you walk away feeling shaky or wondering if you made the right move. But if that decision came from alignment, if it honored what's true for you, that's a win. And the more you practice that, the more those moments will start stacking up. Here's something that really helps me. Look for small opportunities to choose love. It could be as small as taking a walk instead of scrolling when you're anxious, saying thank you instead of deflecting a compliment. The point is, you don't need a big life event to practice. Every small choice matters, and every time you choose love, you are reinforcing a version of yourself that trusts themselves more than they trust fear. Now, you might still be wondering, what about when fear feels so big that love doesn't even feel like an option? That's where this next part comes in, because there is one mindset shift that makes this so much easier to stick with, especially on the days where you feel stuck or unsure. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. You don't need to get rid of fear before you can choose love. Most people wait for fear to disappear before they take action, but that's like waiting for the waves to stop before getting in the ocean. The truth is, love might still be sitting there in the passenger seat, but love gets to drive now. When you start seeing fear as just information and not a stop sign, you take so much of its power away. You can hear it, you can acknowledge it, and you can still choose something different. And choosing love doesn't always mean you're calm or graceful. Sometimes it means your voice shakes. Sometimes it means your hands sweat. Sometimes it means your stomach drops the second you make the move. But on the other side of that moment, you get something fear could never give you. Self-respect. And the quiet confidence of knowing you acted in alignment with who you really are. If you take anything from this video, let it be this. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect clarity, or perfect courage to choose love. You just have to be willing to let it guide you one decision at a time. Because over time, those decisions build a life that feels freer and more you. And no matter where you are right now, whether you're feeling stuck, in between, or already on your way, you have that choice today. So take a breath. Think of one way in your life where fear has been calling the shots, and then ask yourself, what will love do here? That's your next step. Not the whole story, just the next step. If this spoke to you, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What part landed the most for you? And if you would like more conversations like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video in this series. Because the more we practice this, the more natural it becomes, and the more we rise together.